Mr. President, I ask consent to speak until my comments are completed.
Without objection.
I rise today to pay tribute to a mentor of mine in the Senate, Senator Daniel Inouye. The histories of my state and Senator Inouye's are closely connected. We both entered the Union at the same time in 1959. Matter of fact, I know as a kid growing up, I wasn't sure if we had 2 senators or 3 senators because Senator Inouye's name was so well known throughout Alaska. When our states were entered in 1959, there was opposition to both of us becoming states. But we have proven our opponents wrong. Thanks to Daniel Inouye, Hawaii has become a modern, prosperous state. And many Alaskans have a special fondness for the 50th state, especially, I have to say, at this time of the year when it's 40 below in Fairbanks. Daniel Inouye began his public career and service at the age of 17. When he entered the Army after the attack on Pearl Harbor, he served with incredible distinction, earning the nation's highest military medal for action in Italy. As a member of the Senate, Senator Inouye continued his fierce defense of his state and his partnership with Alaska. My predecessor, Alaska Senator Ted Stevens, knew Senator Inouye as his brother. They worked together and produced much good for both our states that will last for generations. When I was elected to this office, Senator Inouye was one of the first members to reach out to me to ask how he could help. The unique thing about Senator Inouye was always his quiet approach to all the issues. He provided me quiet advice and helped me learn how this place works. Many times I'd be down here at the podium and in the well here and waiting for the vote to be tallied or members to vote, and Senator Inouye would come in, stand at the edge there and look up and just say, "How's it going, Alaska?" And we would have a brief conversation, and usually his words would land incredible insight. It may not even be relevant to the topic that we were voting on, but he'd say something to me about something he knew I was working on and just share a few words. I know the first people of Alaska will especially remember him for his dedication to their success. He met with Alaska Native peoples during their visits to Washington as often, and I would say even more often, than the Alaska members in the House and Senate. They made a point to stop by his office on a regular occasion to talk to him about what has happened in the past, what's going on today, and what they look for in the future. Earlier this year, Senator Inouye was in Alaska at my invitation, his last trip to Alaska. He told a memorable story about his support of the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline, which was controversial when he supported it and its construction. Now, Senator Inouye has a unique style of how to tell stories, and you got to just pay attention and listen. They're not wordy, they're just very to the point. Senator Inouye told this story and told by opponents of the pipeline that it would destroy the caribou which lived in Alaska's North Slope. This is what he was told over and over again. And again, in this last trip, he was in front of a group of people, and I was anxious as he started to talk, and he said, "I have this story to tell you." And he talked about this time of controversy about the Alaska North Slope and the oil pipeline and the caribou and what would happen and the destruction that may occur based on what he was hearing, but he was a strong supporter of the pipeline. So in his words, and in fact, here's how we actually said it. In fact, he said, "The warm oil going through the pipeline heats the ground, so grass grows year-round. The caribou come around to eat the grass and, in his words, make love, and the caribou population has grown threefold." Who was I to let facts of that wonderful story by the Senator Inouye get in the way of its telling? But he has done enormous things for our Alaska Native people and for Alaska in total. The work he did, and he describes it to me when he went out to rural Alaska many, many years ago and saw the deplorable conditions of our water and sewer, saw an important effort to preserve not only the languages of Alaska, but also Hawaii. And yes, like Hawaii, Alaskans, we loved our earmarks, and we still love them. And he was an adamant proponent of earmarks, making sure that, as mentioned by Senator Mikulski, they went for the right reasons. As also mentioned, his defense of this country and his personal heroic actions, but his ongoing, everyday work he did to shape the national defense and really international defense. And it was an incredible sight to watch him in action. I always remember him, Daniel Inouye, for his truly hearty laugh, ready smile, his partnership with my state of Alaska, and his dedication to his state. Truly a silent giant. My condolences go to his wife, Irene, and the entire Inouye family, and to all who miss him greatly. You know, we come down to the session every day, we get the calendar of business. This one dated today. You look on the list of all the committees, and you see the chairman and the members, but today his name is not there after 41 years. My heart goes out to him, to truly the silent giant. I yield the floor.